is going to die when you fire this weapon. It really is.
It is a powerful weapon. It won't instant kill infantry because they'll get all the saves, but it still will worry them. And against any sort of walker, it will be a #1 priority target.
It's his #1 priority target anyway.
If you are using an army of flyers, which why you do that I don't know, because there's just a lot out there that can take out flyers pretty easily. You might do a bit better, but for the most part, you either need to get in close or get in cover.
I can't praise that barking dog enough. It's so funny when it works.
The barking dog is amazing. If you're wanting to get into this game and you're wanting to play allies, get a barking dog.
You need one of these, trust me, you do.
Or at least 2. See, the pounder's probably the more damaging, but for how many dice the barking dog spits out...
For a similar amount of points, I mean, the pounder is... Oh no, they're the same points, 14 to 14.
I think the barking dog's 15, I think.
The heavier version of the barking dog, it's 18 points.
Oh, 18 points.
So
still worth it.
For 4 points more, you're rolling more dice. So more dice, more damage.
Yeah, and a bit more armour.
Yep. Get it every time in your army, every time.
One or two of these, your opponent will be worried.
You can't express enough how much you need one of these in your army.
Even the bigger walkers, you're still gonna be
you're still gonna worry them every time. You watch how fast they try and take that out. So bring it on last.
Even if he's bringing on one of his heavies, you're still gonna go for the barking dog.
Yeah, I've played a game where I've had 2 heavy walkers, and he has concentrated fire on taking that out first. Haven't you? He really, really hates it, and your opponents will hate it too. Trust me.
Right. So the heavier walkers for the allies.
Yes, heavy walkers.
Well, heavy vehicles.
Well, first off, we're going to go for the barking dog's big brother, which I've never used, and I want to use it, but just to put the worries up him.
It's only a point more than a normal one.
It's 19 points. So yes, as he said, it's 1 point more.
Takes up 4 squares because it is a large walker.
Yep, it is. You're right. Move 2, march 4. You're not going to move it. Don't matter what. It could be a move 0. It doesn't matter. You're not going to move this. Armor 5, which is handy. 7 health, which is fun because you'll need that.
Really good.
What can it do? You've got smoke launchers,
which on a vehicle like that is just atrocious. In a good way, but it's still atrocious.
Oh dear Lord above. It's got a salvo rule. I've just read what salvo does.
It doesn't have to reload, it's just a salvo weapon.
You may double the number of dice, roll when attacking. If you do, you remove the loaded token. So I imagine you reload next turn.
Yeah, you reload next turn, as if it did have to reload.
So the weapon cannot attack until the unit regains a reload. So yes, you have to reload next turn. Well, that's not too much of a problem now, is it? So
bring on more ammo. Yes, sir.
So let's assume then that you do a salvo against all infantry. You roll in 2 blast.
Yep.
If you salvo this baby, right? And you roll in. If you salvo it, then up to armor 5 armor, you are rolling 4 dice that can do 4 damage each time and instant kill armor 3 and below. Good Lord above. Good Lord above.
And then it's got a load of 30 and 50 cal MGs, which is going to harass infantry to no end.
Oh yes. I think I'm going to buy that one tomorrow. Just to annoy you, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy this one, just to be annoying. Right.
The bad stuff out of the way.
Well, I don't know. Now we're going to go on to the 6-shooter's littler brother called the Pershing 3. This also costs 19 points, and it's got the recoilless guns because I think they look sexy. You might notice a theme in my allied army. I'm going to have just loads of these.
Flyers and recoil. Recoilless flyers.
Now then, this also has a salvo, which we've just talked about. It's tracked, so when you're rolling through terrain, you stop on the roll of crosshairs. So don't go through terrain. It's got a move of 2, march of 5,
which is
armour
really
5.
good.
Again, it's got your 12 range recoilless guns, which we just spoke about. They're awesome. So pretty much Pershing 3 or a 6-shooter, they're pretty much the same thing.
The only difference is the Pershing 3's got slightly better marching value, but it's tracked.
Yeah, you're right. It can march one extra space.
Your track might give you problems on terrain. I think looking at it, it's slightly lower down, so you might be able to get it behind cover a bit easier.
I mean, ultimately, they are an identical vehicle. I just chose them because of the guns and they look cool.
What you want to do is get a for the barking dog, really, and for the other two perhaps, get an officer and just harden behind it because vehicles block the line of sight.
Yep.
Right.
Reload, keep on going, rinse and repeat, pretty much.
4 in 6 chance you will get your reload command off.
Now then, onto a heavy walker that I've actually got and used. This is really quite nice. One called the Punisher. It costs 26 points and it's worth every single point.
Yeah.
It's got a dozer blade, which means it can take a special action to gain a cover save until you move.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to move this, babe. I'm telling you. It can carry 6 people. Why? You're not going to move it. It can only move 2. It can only march 3. So the people inside it, while they are pretty safe, they're going to have a slow ride. So it's up to you.
Just watch out with passengers because people inside it can die when it blows up.
I personally wouldn't bother putting anybody in this.
You could have them behind it and have it slowly walking forwards.
Well, yeah, but if you have it slowly walking forward, then you can't sustain fire with this 18 square range guns.
No.
18 squares.
Yep.
Just let that sink in. Pretty much, you're going to be in range of anything.
Have an officer behind it doing the order where you get to activate again.
It's ridiculous, the power of this thing, right? I mean, it's a blast against all infantry, doing 4 damage each to armour 1, up to 1 damage to armour 4. Where it is really deadly is against vehicles. You are only rolling 2 dice. But
it's doing a lot of damage.
Instant kills up to armour 4, stone cold dead.
Yep.
Armour 5, you do armour 5 and 6, you're doing 6 damage each, and armour 7, you're doing 5 damage to armour 7. 5 damage to armour 7. Sustain fire this and hope both your dice hit, and then you just see ya. Thanks for coming.
Even 1, you're taking most really heavy walkers and vehicles down to half health. Easy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that's still going to worry something.
Yeah. This will attract return fire like a magnet,
Yeah.
but
comparing it to the Axis ones, the Axis ones are cheaper, but haven't got the infantry carrying capabilities and can't shoot smoke out like the Punisher and the Demolisher can.
Secondary weapons, it's got 30 and 50 cal machine guns.
Worry infantry like
a lot. I mean, sustain fire them. You got 12 dice against armour 1 with the 30 cal machine gun, re-rolling 12 dice. Same with the 50 cal. You got 7 dice. With re-rolls. It's just nasty. It's just a really good way to ruin your day. Honestly.
Right, so aircraft,
right.
the Allies only got 2 at the minute.
And they look a bit naff, to be honest. I'm really not interested in these. I don't see as that I need. You don't need like 40k. If you ever play 40k, in the current version you need to have flyers.
Aircraft help a lot. aesthetically in 40k, most of the aircraft look pretty pants.
Well, they're horrific, aren't they? You know, they
in
look
this game,
really horrific.
In this game, most of the stuff, even the flyers, they don't look terribly crap. They just look.
No. No, they look like they could. Well, onto a side point with that. Everything looks like it could exist.
Yeah.
There is nothing that looks so far fetched that you can't go, oh, that's out of place. What have they got that for? I mean, everything looks like it could really exist.
The medium walkers for the Allies, especially, they do look like proper tanks on legs.
You can see the evolution, you know, with the tracks going to legs. You can see where, you know, you can believe it existed. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with the flyers. I just personally choose not to have them because they just don't look very well. I just don't like them, to be honest. So
thing with flyers, they might do a bit. They might be hard to hit, but you are going to have to keep moving them.
Yeah, you unless you got the helicopters for Russians, they can hover. You can't sustain fire with them because you have to you have to move them, and
got a pretty good move.
They've got a mover 12, they've got a marcher 24. They're both armor 2.
Which is bad.
The only major difference is one's got bombs and one's got rockets. I mean, they're both limited ammo, and if I was and behind my back forced to go and pick one, I'd go for the one with the rockets, purely because you're rolling more dice. Yeah,
I'm tempted to go for the Thunderstrike. How many points is that?
You've got 18 and 17, so it's 1 point more than the bomb one.
Yeah.
Rockets, you're rolling, it's 2 blast against everything. So infantry and vehicles, it's 2 blast. So you're rolling 2 dice to hit them, and then you're rolling double the number of dice for infantry you fire at. You've only got 2, so once you've fired them, then you're down to your machine gun.
Which isn't bad at infantry and light vehicles. Pretty good on aircraft.
I mean, once you've fired it, once you've fired your rockets, it's useless against anything. Against anything higher than armor 3 vehicles, it's useless.
Pretty pointless. I suppose the bombs on this one got volley where you can fire them both together, which it isn't bad. But I will
this one's got volley as well. But
well then, you might as well just go for the Thunderstrike then.
But I'd go for the rockets just because you're rolling more dice.
Oh, definitely. You might as well just do that.
The damage is slightly less, but you're rolling more dice. So more dice means more chance to hit.
It's going to be more damage.
Yeah,
really. And both got 6 health.
I mean, the bombs can instant kill armor 3, and the rockets can only instant kill armor 1, but again, you're rolling more dice.
Yeah, you could do 2 dice because it's 2 blasts, or 4 dice if you have both rockets activated.
But yeah, I mean, I'd go for the rocket one if I was forced to make a choice. But I won't because I don't want to.
So, lastly, the heroes.
Yep. Now then, the heroes. Let's start with Johnny One Eye, no sniggering.
He's kind. He reminds me a bit of Solid Snake really with the one eye, but that's just me.
Once per game, he can hit on crosshairs as well as army symbols, and that applies to unity joins,
which is pretty good.
So, sticking with a unit of riflemen, unit of riflemen that are chucking out four shot. There's a unit of mine I use called Mavericks that fire four shots each.
Are they the ones with the shotguns? Oh
no, they're not.
No, they're not.
Anyway, put them with those that are firing 4 shots each, or 20 shots.
They'll do a lot of damage.
That hit on, see ya.
I like infantry.
He's got Killing Spree, which when he hits with a ranged weapon, roll hits again, scoring more hits on army symbols, and you keep on rolling until the rerolls fail to hit.
Unless you're using that fighting spirit, you keep rolling to hit and hit and hit and hit. That only applies to him, but it's a very good gun what he's got.
Now, that sounds alright on its own until you turn it over and realise that his gun fires 7 shots on armour 1.
6 on armour 2, 4 on armour 3. It's
yeah. So
good.
if you're firing it against armour 1, you're rolling 7 dice, and then I've hit with 4 of them. Roll them again. I've hit again. Roll them again. You know, just keep on going.
And he's only 10 points, which ain't bad.
And he's only 10 points. So I might have to purchase this one just for the laugh.
2.
He's armour 2, so he could only join units with armour 2, like that demolition squad of mine. He couldn't join the Mavericks, they're armour 1. So he could only join. Well, demo squad's got a shotgun. Ooh, demo squad's got shotguns.
Ain't
with
they armour 1?
No, they're armour 2, man.
They're armour 2.
Yeah. Yeah, then with the shotguns.
Yeah, that'll not be a bad idea.
That have got 7 dice per shotgun. Plan. Yeah, I remember that one. Right then, next one. A tiny wee little woman with a